then we're going to properly land our boats. So you guys today are scientists, and you're going to take some data on what we're going to launch our boats from. So if you guys look down right here, what is this? Yep.
A ramp?
Yeah, so how do you think we're going to get our boats into the water?
By pushing our boats off the ramp?
Yeah, that's a good idea. What are some things you think we're going to need to avoid while we're going all the way out through the creek here?
The wall?
Yeah, I know it's winter right now, so there's not many things in the creek, but what are some things you might need to think about in the summer? Do you have one?
Like oncoming boats?
Yeah, and maybe even boats that are parked in the marina too. We don't want to hit those because they're not our property. How do you think when the wind is coming inshore, it's going to affect you going outshore?
It's going to be like wavier?
Yeah, and what if the wind's going with you?
It's going to be more relaxing?
Yeah, so how do you think we can get out of the dock without using our sails? It's a tricky one.
Maybe by like having a motor pull us?
Yeah, that's exactly how we're going to do it. So we have a motorboat that are usually parked around here, and they're going to pull us with a big tow rope, and your crew's going to hold on to it. They're going to pull you all the way out here until it's safe for us to pull up our sails and sail on our own. Okay, so now that we know that, we're going to go back to the club, take our scientific data, and we're going to figure out the specific steps to launching, okay?
Okay.
Can everyone see clearly?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So now that we're up in the club, we're going to go over what we saw down at the water. So this is our launching situation. We have our ramp. We have our dock right here. This is the creek we're going out of, called Pike Creek at Southport. We have our boats that we're going to need to avoid. And then we have our motorboat and tow rope that we're going to pull us all the way out of the creek. So we have an approach for our launching, which is the 3, 2, 1 takeoff approach. So number 1, we're going to push our boat on the dolly down the ramp into the water. Number 2, we're going to untie the rope from the dolly, and we're going to put it into the water floating freely and holding onto the dock. After that, the skipper is going to turn the boat around into a stern to dock position like this. And he's going to load the whole crew onto the boat. That's when we're going to be ready for takeoff. But you have to wait for your instructor, who's going to be over here on the motorboat, to come out all the way over here and to give you the okay to push off, grab onto the tow rope right here, and then they're going to pull you. You're going to steer with the boat all the way out of the creek, avoiding all casualties. Okay? So now that I've explained all the steps of our 3, 2, 1 takeoff approach, we're going to see how well you remember with a little game. So right here are all the steps printed up on little pieces of paper, and you guys are going to put them in order for me. Does anyone know what the first step is? Yeah?
Push the boat down the ramp on the dolly.
That's right. So we're going to put this at the top over here. Does anyone know step 2?
Take off!
Not quite yet. We got to get little things under control first.
Untie the dolly and bring the boat up to the dock.
That's correct. So we're going to put that one right underneath. Then what? Yeah?
Take off!
Not quite yet. Anyone else?
Skipper positions the boat stern to dock and helps crew get on the boat.
Yep, and make sure you don't forget any of your crew. We all have to go on this mission to the moon. Now what?
Take off!
Yeah, that's what means we're ready for takeoff. But you have to wait for takeoff until your skipper gives you the okay. So now what?
Skipper pushes off the dock when giving the okay.
Yep. And right after that, our last one.
Crew grabs the tow line out of the water from the bow and holds on tight.
Yeah. So we're going to make sure we hold on really tight because we don't want anyone to let go and we'll have to loop back and get you, okay? So now that we know how to launch, how do you think we might dock when launching is going out and docking is coming in? Any ideas of how they're related? Yeah?
Maybe the reverse of that?
Exactly. So we're going to look at our steps in the backwards order to find out what kind of way we can dock. So our last step is crew grabs the tow line out of the water from the bow and holds on tight. What do you think we'll need to get ourselves back in the creek? Yeah?
Crew grabs the tow line again and holds on tight.
Yeah, good. So our second last step is skipper pushes off dock. So we're not on the dock anymore, we're out on the water. So how do you think we're gonna get back on the dock?
Maybe the crew jumps onto the dock.
Yeah, exactly, because the crew's in the front of the boat and we're gonna come in nose first. Then we're not gonna be ready for takeoff, we're ready for,
Launching.
no, what is it? Ready for?
Docking.
Docking, that's it, close. Okay, so then we have skipper positions the boat stern to dock. Because we're coming in, we're not going to be stern to dock, we're going to be bow to dock. I can show you in the picture. So see what I drew in red here is the stern to dock position. Because we're coming in, pulling on the rope this way, we're going to land the boat like this and have the crew jump off onto the dock. Bow to the dock, that way when we pull our boat in, it's ready to load on the dolly right away. Okay? Now we have our step where it says untie the dolly and take the boat up the ramp. So what are we going to do? We're not going to want to untie it.
We're gonna want to tie it to the dolly and bring the boat up.
And then we have push the boat down the ramp on the dolly. We're not going to want to push it down the ramp that's going into the water. So
Bring it up the ramp.
yeah, and we're going to put it safely away and unrig our boat and we're going to be done for the day, and that's how we're going to dock successfully. Does anyone have any questions on launching or docking? Yeah.
What would happen if you let go of the tow rope?
That happens all the time. It's a common mistake, but we're going to try and hold on as tight as we can so it doesn't happen. If it does, which it does, we're just going to loop around, we're going to pick you up again. It'll all be okay. So don't worry about that. Any other questions? No? Okay, so just remember our mission for today is to launch safely, effectively, and carefully, to go to the moon, which is going to be our white buoy. We're going to round it, going to come back, and we're going to land safely, effectively, and properly. Good? Everyone ready?
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
go right up.